Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another Mimosas and Makeup. You already know I already have a mimosa. This one is enhanced. So I have cupcake Prosecco, a little bit of Bacardi, pineapple rum, and orange juice. Yes, that is where we are. It's actually Saturday night. I try to film Mimosas and Makeup on Friday nights, but I had a youth event at August school, so that wasn't able to happen, but I'm so excited because I have pulled these palettes out and they have been sitting for a month. I want to talk about my fall eyeshadow palettes. I love talking about eyeshadow palettes. I really do. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? Let me know in the chat or the comment section, whichever you prefer. I am really excited because I just ordered Indian food. I ordered paneer tikka masala. They're not giving me an option to make it mild anymore, and I'm not happy about that. I don't mind a little medium spice. I don't mind that, but I would prefer mild. Anyway, that's what I'm getting, and 2 pieces of naan. So yes, that will be here soon. Everybody's chilling. Tyrone's playing Call of Duty. August and Marky, we spent the day at my mom's. They have been bathed. We are good to go. Let me tell you my plan. It's a little haphazard. Last year, I know I picked out 20 fall eyeshadow palettes, and that's a lot. Like, it really is. Most people do like 10, 5, you know what I'm saying? Probably 10. But what I want to do is, I have like, I think 15 here. But I have others that I'm not including them in the list because what I want to do at the end is I want to go to my video from last year and see what I picked. Because I really want to have some different things circulating. You know, a lot of content creators do like top fall palettes, you know, or top winter palettes, you know, for the season or for different holidays. I don't want to pick the same thing every year. And I want to rotate things in my collection. So I'm going to show you these palettes. I have a set that's sitting out here that I'm like, I know these were probably in the video last year. And then I have some here that I picked them because they give me fall vibes, but they're palettes that I really want to use this season. However, some of them might have been picked last year and maybe I didn't use them. So that's my plan. Let's get started because I can chit chat about eyeshadow for a long time. Okay. And I know y'all can too. And together that might not be the best combo. So let's do it. Oh, did y'all see? Well, you probably would have seen it. Glamlight was like a major announcement coming tomorrow because y'all know they're coming out with another collection. I really think they are. And it's not going to be a cool neutral collection. So, but I'm going to tell you what they shouldn't do. They shouldn't drag it out. Drag it out for a major disappointment. Drag it out and show us a bag. I hope they don't do that. That's what I'm hoping they don't do. That's not what we're here. These are not in any particular order. First palette that I'm picking out that I want to wear this fall is the Unearthly Cosmetics Leather and Lace palette. I really like this palette. Look at that. First of all, the layout is great. You've got a gradient of green, brown, and purple, I guess you would say that is. Maroon, I don't know. You got 3 shimmers here. Not my favorite shimmers. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like the feel, but the shimmers are absolutely great. They really are. The layout makes this palette very easy for beginners. There's a level of ease to this palette that I enjoy. But what I can say is I don't think I've used this palette since I did a video on it. And for some reason, I can't remember if I did a video on it or not. But you got 3 distinct looks here. And of course, once you do those, you can mingle the shades. You can mix and match across the rows and columns to do something great. You can do an all matte look if you want to. I think this is a great palette for Unearthly Cosmetics because they do have a lot of different color stories. But this is one that I think would work for people who want to try indie shadows or brands, but are looking for something neutral and are looking for a layout that has ease. And this is it. I really do like this palette. I remember liking it, but I need to use it again and figure out, do I love her? But looking at this, it is aesthetically pleasing to me. It's something that I know I could do something quick with for work, and it does give me those fall vibes. Palette number 2, we have Jewels and Gems from, oh, it's just Gem, not Gems, from Odin's Eye. I really like this palette, and I think I did 3 or 4 looks with this palette. I loved every single one, and I think the shade that really made me happy was this shade Swoon. Oh my gosh, y'all. I loved it. It's not even doing what I needed to do, but I really loved using this with the gray. It just gave like this fiery vibe. There it is. See that? Because that wasn't going to do it for us. That wasn't going to show us nothing. I definitely think I would prefer this palette to the Stone and Rock palette that also came out with the George collection. And I have used Stone and Rock, but it wasn't anything I filmed, so I need to do a little more with that. But I'm really happy with this palette. What about this palette reminds me of fall? Not exactly sure, but it's one that came to mind. I think I was thinking of the cool tones, but then there's also like the fiery orange in this multi-chrome that we get. You know, you get the leaves that are kind of turning brown. There's no purples. I'm not sure, but this was on my mind and this was in the pile. So that's what we're doing. And it is also a palette I would like to use more in this season. And that's why it's here. Am I bright? I wish y'all could answer me. Y'all can't. I feel like when I'm trying to show the palettes look so bright. Okay, palette number 3, and I think I may have mentioned this one in my last video, the one from last year, but I'm putting it on the list because it's one I want to use. It's Fall Magic from Unearthly Cosmetics. Now, you may know that Unearthly Cosmetics has revamped Fall Magic, and the owner Amanda did say that they are sending out the Fall Magic and the Sorcerer's Smoke for PR, so I did not purchase them. FYI, I did purchase the Devour Halloween box, and I cannot wait. Side note, this is the original Fall Magic, the new one. It might have more shades. No, it might not have more shades, but I know there's like a bright green in that one. Like, there's just some different shades. I love this palette though. And I'm happy to have this version of it because this reminds me of a cozy palette. It's a palette that I think is so easy to use and create looks with. Like, you got some browns, you got a green as far as the mattes. You've got like the mauves, you have a pink, cool tone, you could do warm. And then the shimmers are really nice as well. I think my favorite shimmer might be Change. Do y'all want me to show maybe I should show the palettes up close because I haven't done that, but I love that. Let's just go back. I'll start with Fall Magic. And this is again the original one. So this one's not available for purchase anymore, but I love this color story and I'm not sure why she chose to revamp it. I do know that they have like different packaging now, kind of like the more elongated palette style. But I think this in that style would have been great. I'm really thankful to have this one. Let me just go back and show you the other two. Also with Fall Magic, the shimmers aren't as hard pressed as the shimmers that are in Leather and Lace. Let me show you Odin's up close, Jewels and Gem, one gem. So there's Jewels and Gem. Really, really nice palette. I know it may not look amazing, but it really is. And here's Leather and Lace, which I love. This kind of gives me like Gemini vibes, or like from Mel, what is the other palette? The Beetlejuice one. Oh, that reminds me, because I do want to do like Halloween palettes, spooky palettes. I did not pull out my Melt palettes I'm so glad y'all reminded me of that, or this video reminded me of that, because I need to pull out the Waiting Room and Recently Deceased. Palette number 4, you will see some stickers. They actually happen to be fall stickers. They're work stickers I found in here. I always keep palettes that I use or products that I use for the month in a certain bin, but if I have to take them out to film with, I need to put something on them to know to put it back in the bin so I can talk about the palette at the end of the month or use it again just to give my final thoughts for a roundup. So we have a sticker on here, and you'll see that on some of the palettes here. But we have the Cimmerian Sunset from Adept Cosmetics. This one right here, y'all, I'm so thrilled about. I don't know. There was just nothing about this. Lies. The one thing I would change probably about the palette would be these 2 mattes. At least this one, for sure. This is called Gelad. I don't need more than one blend out shade in a palette, and I really liked when I took Atlas from the Heather Austin palette. I loved taking that shade because it was a beautiful transitional brown, and using that on my eyes with these, you know, fall crisp orangey shades. I love this terracotta, like reddish shade. The shimmers in this palette are great. Some of them are gel type formula, but they are just really beautiful. And I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of swatching in this video. Let me know if you purchased this palette. I know for me, when I saw that it was called Cimmerian Sunset, just the whole sunset situation, I knew I was going to want this palette. And when I looked at the packaging on the outside, because her packaging, I feel, for the most part, mirrors what's going on. And like with this sunset gradient, I knew I was going to want it. So I know this just came back in stock, and hopefully on Black Friday, there will be a sale. But this one is worth it. I really, really like it. This palette is magnetic, so if you do have other Adept palettes, you can mix and match the shades. But like I said, the only ones that I would really switch out would be these 2. And really, this one could go. I can tolerate having one blend out shade, as I said. Overall, really great palette. I think I did 4 looks. I'm not sure. No, I think I did 5 looks, and they were all different. So I love that as well about this palette. Now, so far, I may have mentioned Fall Magic last year. The other ones, I don't think so. And I know I didn't mention this one because this one did not exist. So palette number 5, I'm going to give to Love's Journey from Sydney Grace. Now, this palette can stand on its own, but I also think it would make a beautiful companion palette. This is another palette that I love the layout. So you kind of have this warmer row with the warm browns and deep brown. Then you have a neutral row, and then you have a cool row. So it lends itself to 3 different types of looks if you want to just go through the rows. Of course, you can mix the rows and columns. Me personally, I like staying in the rows. I do. When palettes are laid out like that, I like to use it like that because there's just a level of ease that it gives. And then there are other palettes that aren't laid out like that where it's like I can, you know, experiment and things like that. But I also think this is a great palette for me to use with my indie singles, because I do try to bring out my indie singles aside from the build your own palette videos, because I'm really starting to fall in love with my singles. I am. And that's why I'm not trying to add too many more to my collection, because I have some beautiful things. Oh my God, that reminded me of gowns, beautiful gowns. So do y'all remember when Aretha Franklin they did an interview with, do y'all remember when they did this interview with Aretha Franklin and they were asking her about different singers? So they were like, Adele, and she's like, young, good singer, great singer. They like did different people, and they got to like, I want to say Taylor Swift, and she was like, gowns, beautiful gowns. Anyway, I have some beautiful things in my collection, and you know, I'm really trying to get use out of them. So I like having these types of neutral palettes to pair with them, because Sydney Grace mattes are just on fire. They are buttery. They are so good, really good. And they make beautiful shimmers. However, if you want something that's a little extra special, You know, you can do the mattes and then you can do the shimmers and, you know, take one of your indie shades and just top it, or inner corner highlight just for that. It just adds such a beautiful detail to the look. Sometimes I may want something a little extra and need one of my Terra Moons or Divinas or something like that for the lid. It will go great with Love's Journey. So that's number 5. Now, palette number 6 is a palette I haven't used. It's in my basket of shame. And I don't really think it got the best reviews, but I'm going to stand by it. You know why? I can't take it back. That's where I'm at. And this is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. And I am picking this one for fall because I want to use it. I think that this can give some beautiful fall vibes. There are warm and cool tones, and you have these beautiful golds. Oh my God, beautiful gowns. You have these beautiful gold shades. You have a black. Like, you can do some little fall glam situations with this palette. So let me know. I mean, this palette is crisp, y'all. I think the only one that I may have remotely swatched is this one, and that's probably not going to be a shade that I'm going to use like that. And thankfully, Huda decided to, you know, eliminate the Petri dish situations with her palettes. I wonder if I picked Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes for fall. That just seems like a palette I may have chosen last year. I don't know what possessed me to do 20 palettes. Like, what? Who said that? All right, that up there is that cream shade. So we'll see. But that's going to be a creasy situation. So I don't know. That might have to be like a primer thing. But I would love to use this palette. I really do like it. I even have a thumbnail made for my review for this palette. So it'll be a lost review because I would love to do multiple looks. So that was palette number 6. Also, spoiler, you know, Huda is going to be coming out with her larger palette for the holiday, and it looks kind of like, I would say kind of like glam, you know. So if you really like the formula, I think that would be a great palette. But for me, glam was not my jam. So I'm going to most likely be skipping on Huda's holiday release this year. And in fact, I got this one late, I believe. I think I got it on sale. Palette number 7, I probably mentioned last year. And actually, I have mentioned this in more than one season because I think this palette is good year round. And this is the Melt Amor y Mariposas. And this is probably why well, aside from the crooked teeth look, this palette is probably why I'm not going to be indulging in the Nightmare Before Christmas palette, even though it's a little tempting. Not that this is the same, but this is a muted version. And I absolutely love this palette. And I treasure this palette because it took me a whole ass year to love this palette, y'all. A whole year. You want to know why it took a whole year? Because I have circle pan prejudice. One of my friends on here called it that. She's like, circle pan prejudice. I do. It's not circle pan prejudice like any circle pans. It's if you are coming from a... Oh, I lost my mic. The passion is there. If you're coming from a square or rectangular situation, why would you go to circle pans? Melt has done it. Sydney Grace has done it. Notoriously Morbid has done it. And I keep telling people, stop. Don't do it. Baby, don't do it. But this is a more muted version of the Nightmare Before Christmas palette, in my opinion. This formula is a great melt formula. And to be honest, as much trash as I talk about the circle pans, I would not mind Melt coming out with something of this formulation in the future, because we are getting a lot of shades and we're getting great shimmers. If you have not tried anything from Melt Cosmetics, I'm gonna let you know. The mattes are usually great unless it's the 420 palette. The shimmers are hit or miss, and they're more misses than hits as far as I'm concerned. We don't get that in this palette. I will give you an example. I'm just gonna swatch. Let's just do 3 shades. So I'm just gonna take this one right here. We are not getting flaky. We are not getting chalky. We are not getting trash. We're not. And I'm not sure why this cannot consistently be done by the brand. The crazy thing is, when we watch the shimmers being swatched, I'm gonna do one more, they look great. They look great when someone else is swatching them, but when I swatch them, why are they looking a crumbly mess? These don't have that. And my favorite melt palettes have the great shimmers, just like this one. And you know, this collection was a total flop, but had some of the best packaging ever. Wait a minute, because it's right. Can I, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it out, because it's always close by. I mean, just make sure I don't knock anything down. It's got dust on it. Look at this dust. Some of the best packaging. And it's sad because, oh, wait a minute, I got stuff still in the box. It's very sad. And Melt, the customer service was amazing. I will say that. I mean, some of the best. Let me just pull this stuff out because I'm up here playing games, shucking and jiving. Now, I didn't like the glitter lipstick in this, but that's not even what I want to show y'all. Do y'all see my girl, okay? Like, she's makeup goals for real. And, oh my gosh, why is Melt not doing an Edward Scissorhands collection? I mean, I'm sorry if y'all saw dust flying around. What is happening? Maybe it'll be holiday. You know, I am a little thrown with this Halloween collection because I don't know if Melt usually does a Halloween collection. I feel like they don't. So then I'm like, what are they gearing up with? Because last year they was like, F it. With that Zodiac situation. And I would be too. If I had to launch this beautiful collection for 20% off, and I was mad. I'd ask for my money back. Like, we are not doing that. Y'all are not gonna play me because I'm trying to be a stan, paying $400 some, and then looking like Boo Boo the Fool on whatever day it launched. And everybody was getting stuff. I mean, this Amore Mary Posters palette went down to $28. $28. And I know this palette, it had to be more than 60 bucks. Anyway, palette, what is this, number 7? Amore Mary Posters. And this might be a long one, y'all. I can talk about some shadows, and I know y'all can. Palette number 8, y'all. I'm gonna have to do maybe a 3-look situation because I don't love her yet. But it's a cool tone situation. And I can't say it's different than, I don't know if it's different. Let me just tell y'all. Mothership 10, the big 10. This is what, Moonlit Seduction? Definitely not my favorite Mothership at all. However, I think that I will be able, because it's a year later, we have to let go of things. I'll be able to put aside my personal disappointment with the color story of this palette at this point in 2023, because we're not holding on to it. We're not holding on to the past. We're not. And look at this palette as its own entity. That's my plan. And see if I like it. You know what I mean? I know I did cute looks, and that's fine. But it's been a year, you know, or a little over at this point. And I would like to pull this palette out and use it fresh. Use it on its own without saying, it's a cool tone pink palette or whatever. Because I have since gotten into cool tones, and maybe, just maybe, I will like it. Just like I liked Utopian Dream, but it took a full year. It took a full year. And it's possible. See, I kind of feel like it's not possible with this. What was the new one? Sunlit Seduction. I feel like it's not possible, but right now my feelings are attached to the fact that it looks like other motherships. I can't say that this one looks exactly like the other motherships because she only has one that's cool toned, and that was the first one, Subliminal. So not mad at its place in the Pat McGrath universe. That last one, though, I don't know. But I want to use this, and I want to give it another chance. Because I did that with Utopian Scheme, and it was better. It was better. It was. And the quality is great. So number 8 is going to go to the Moonlit Seduction. Palette number 9 is going to go to Notoriously Morbid Rusted Essence Volume 2. And I was looking for Volume 1. I have a feeling I mentioned Volume 1 in the last video, so I did not want to include that. Now, I did 3 looks, I think, with this, and I liked it. Do I like this better than Volume 1? I'm not sure. I actually really do like this tennis ball. No, I do like this one. I don't know if I like it better than Volume 1. By the way, Volume 1 did have square pants, or the first batch did. Love this tennis ball green. And I've kind of grown to love the Notoriously Morbid Chalky Mattes. They blend out ridiculously well. They really, really do. And these shades are nice. There are no flakies in here, which I always appreciate because those are just not my cup of tea. So I do like the mattes that they chose, and I do like the shimmers. And I like that it's not duping the original palette. It is something different. So we're going to have that as what? Palette number 8. Sorry, this is palette number 9. Palette number 10, you guys, y'all. Hudson Valley from Nomad Cosmetics. This palette right here, this is fall. I mean, this is probably the most fall palette out of all the ones that I have shown. The beauty of this palette is the warm side, the cool side, and then the 3 shimmers. Also, you know, Nomad Cosmetics does different shimmer formulas, but the ones in this palette are all smooth. I have them right here because guess what, y'all? I'm doing a Do We Love Her video with this palette, and this is the look that I created. And as I said in that video, there's no way that I created this look when I did the review of this palette. There's no way. Because I would have been talking about this palette the way I talk about Haunted Europe, you know, in America's Parks. I would have been talking about this one just as much because those are like my 2 favorites, kind of. So, I don't know. This is up there for me. And I just think it is the perfect fall color story. I love the embossings. I just love the concept of Nomad, but I underestimated this palette. And when you see the video where I'm talking about Do We Still Love Her, I'm thinking like, was I inundated with multiple palettes? I'm sure I was, because I don't think I really gave this palette the love that it deserved. And I'm looking at this look and I'm like, this is so pretty. Like, it really, really is. I'm happy. I'm happy about this palette. I'm happy I pulled it out. I was looking for this one earlier. Like, I was looking all day like, where is Hudson Valley? Like, this is one. Just, I didn't even have to see it to think like this has got to be in this video. So that's number 10. Number 11, ironically, I'm going with Odin's Eye Merry Christmas. I am Christmas. It's my Michael Jackson voice. But I'm going with Merry Christmas palette. So much of this palette gives me a fall vibe. Now, I do recognize some of the Christmassy colors because you have red and green, but you also have to think that during the fall you have leaves changing from green to these golds and these browns and these reds, and that's what the Merry Christmas palette is giving me. In fact, I really appreciate that this collection from Odin's Eye is not one that I feel like I can only pull out during the Christmas holiday or winter holiday season. I used the Christmas Eve palette about a week or so ago, you know, when I was trying to figure out, did I want this new Halloween collection? And I actually feel like both of the palettes in the Halloween or Halloween collection partner with these 2 palettes. One really gives off some fall vibes, the Trick or Treat palette, and would be a perfect companion with this one. And then the Little Ghost palette I think would be great to go with the Christmas Eve palette. But this one is great. And I am still happy to have this palette. I'm not sure if Odin's is doing a holiday collection this year because, truth be told, many people would be happy with them just bringing this one back. And I think that's what brands need to do. Like, it's not always, it's not always about the new. That was the shade Elf Wish. Some people just want you to bring back the old stuff. You know, you think about how many times people asked for Muerte to come back, because I was one of them and then was disappointed, but that's not even the point. And now there's been a couple restocks. I'm like, there were so many people that wanted those palettes, and the Muerte palettes were selling for ridiculous prices on Mercari. And I wonder, you can probably find one of these up there too for crazy, because people just want the good stuff back. We don't need all the new stuff. Like, I don't need it, and I am feeling good about not feeling the need to need, you know? Okay. I got 4 palettes left and an honorable mention. Just letting y'all know. And then I'm going to just tell you a couple other palettes I think I might have mentioned. And then, you know, this might be a long one, y'all. I'm not going to try to make it too long. But we're going to go with number 12. We got to go with Ghost Town USA from Nomad Cosmetics. And I was trying to figure out, was I putting this with my Halloween bunch of palettes, or was I going to put it with fall? I'm putting it with fall, because this right here, this is like the cool fall story. Top 3, maybe. I'm gonna have to think. Cause Haunted Europe, America's Parks, this one right here, and the Hudson Valley. These palettes are doing it. Oh, and the Royal Europe. I have Royal Europe down here too. These doing it, okay? I love this palette. I was actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed this palette. I think I did 4 looks with this palette, and I think the surprising thing for me was, like, I've never been a big cool toned lover, but this palette really solidified the fact that I like cool tones and I can do them. And I liked that the cool tones weren't just all browns. Like, we had cool greens, cool golds, cool, like, cooler blues that weren't like this. Sorry, I know it's my foot powder, but I'm just saying, I've been putting this on my heat rash. But like, I would like to do blue, but I don't need it to be this blue or royal blue or periwinkle blue or like sky blue or pastel. Like, I don't need that. But this gray blue, and then it's not gray either, because I don't necessarily like the grays. So like these gray blues, like this shade, very unique in my collection. Skinner Saloon, Calamity Jane, and then you have kind of this navy, but it's not navy blue black, it's like navy gray blue. So this, I don't know, this palette really is a special one for me. And I didn't mind the shimmers either. Again, sometimes they can be a little hard pressed, but these are pretty good. I didn't have an issue with them. I'm really into this palette. I honestly cannot wait to use it again. And when I filmed the video for this one, I was like, by the time I get to the 4th look, I'm done. I'm just like, let's just get through it. And then sometimes I'll just do 1 look on each eye. But for the most part, I am filming these things for work. So it's like, you know, it's got to be a look that I like and do, because I'm going to be wearing it for 8+ hours. So this is good, y'all. Good. Love this on the front too. Now, palette number 13 is going to be another melt palette. I think this palette was in the last video for sure. I think it went with Rust, and it's 27. I mean, what can you say? Now, this palette is almost like a cooler version of Rust. And Rust was my first melt palette, so I got that in 2020. But I think this one, I think I got this one in 2022. Yeah, like on a sale. And I love the matte choices in here. And they're pretty much, no, they're warm, and they're warm, they're neutral, and they're cool. And I love that. And there's only 2 shimmers, so it's like, I hope y'all got that right. You know what I'm saying? And we'll check out the shimmers, but I love this one. So let's just look at Crime Fighter. Let's just see. Crime Fighter's decent. Yeah, it is. I don't need it to be like crazy. I just don't need it to be crumbly. Vegas Past. Yeah. Like I can go with these, you know? This palette also lends itself to doing some really beautiful matte looks. I mean, but this looks like fall. This looks like fall leaves, you know? So happy to have this one in my collection, and I love this layout from Melt. That's why it was so hard for me to adjust to the circle pans, like Mori Mariposas and the crooked teeth of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and then the, what was it called? Astrology collection. I just can't. This is not for me. I love this layout from Melt. That's their thing, you know? Now 14 and 15, I'm gonna show y'all together. But these are my babies, and I am getting rid of, I haven't done it yet, a lot of what I have in this brand just because, I don't know, it's just not me, you know? But they are from Dior. And we're going to start with Red Tartan. Red Tartan, y'all. I love me a good red eyeshadow, and Red Tartan is that girl. This is beautiful. I mean, now this right here, this is very weak, okay? We're not, that's not giving, it's not receiving, it's not doing anything. But these mattes are fantastic. They are fantastic. This was a new formula for Dior, a velvet matte formula. And it's nice. It is nice. I think that what I want to do is do kind of a luxury indie mashup and take my Dior Quints, the ones that I'm keeping, and use them with Terra Moons, use them with Davina, use them with Cleona Stained Glass, because good mattes are good mattes, you know, and these are not cheap. They're like $65. So I'm like, if I'm not going to use them, I need to get them to people who are going to use them and love them, you know, because they do have a place. I am not sure if I had this one last year, I feel like I would have mentioned this one in the video. The last one, number 15, then we'll go to my honorable mention, but this one is Coral Paisley. I really like this one too. It looks real dull, but I love it for this shade. To me, this shade just comes out really nice. I love, love, love this Melanie orange. It's really good. It's really good. It looks, doesn't look great there, but it's really good. The shimmers, Dior does have some shimmers that are sparkly, but not these. These are just, they're a little weak, a lot weak. But I love, again, the mattes in the Coral Paisley Quint. And so my Velvet Quints, I have 4. I'm going to keep those. I think the mattes are great in this one. Those are my 15 palettes. Now, honorable mentions, I have 2. They're both from Notoriously Morbid. We have the Spirit of Sleepy Hollow. I haven't used this yet. Definitely can go for fall or for Halloween, so I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. This is giving me almost like the Hudson Valley vibes that the Nomad palette had. It is really nice. I have only swatched it. I haven't used it. So I just didn't want to really put this one in the ranking because I just haven't had a chance. But I really do like this one. You may see it in the Halloween one if I get a chance to use it, you know, before then. So I definitely wanted to mention that one, probably for the Halloween. And then we also have the Season of the Witch Fall palette. I haven't used this one either. It's also from Notoriously Morbid, but again, this one's a really nice partner with the Rusted Essence 2 palette. It's giving you those cool fall tones, which I think is a nice look. And it's a nice change because a lot of times the fall palettes, you know, we do think of red, gold, orange, maybe some green, but they gave a different take on it, and I really like that about this palette. But these 2 I have not used. All right, now we're going to talk about other palettes just fast. I'm not really going into detail about them that I think I would have included in last year's video. The first one's going to be Natasha Denona Bronze. There's just no way I would have done a fall video without talking about my bronze palette. I love this. It is fall. It is all year for me, but definitely fall vibes. I am certain I mentioned in the last year's video the Red Dragon palette from Odin's Eye in a collaboration with Judy. This palette is slept on, y'all. Really slept on. It's discontinued, but I love this palette so much. It is gorgeous. And then you do have kind of the grungy green mustardy situation there. Some browns or red. It's very warm. I love this one. I'm also certain that I mentioned my NARS Climax palette, which I should have put a sticker on here because I did use that one this month. This one just gives me fall vibes as well. Very cool tone. Just a whole different look for NARS. It's not like Divine Rose looking, you know, like a lot of their shadows. This is the most unique thing I think I've seen NARS come out with. So that's the Climax palette, or the C palette, because I'm tired of sexualized makeup. I definitely know I mentioned the Rust palette. I think I did 27 as well. I did use my Rust palette this month to see if I still love her. I for sure do. And I love this one. This is, like I said, more of a warm tone palette. It's kind of cool right here, but this is just a really great one. And my first melt palette, so always special. And last but not least, I am certain I mentioned Pat McGrath Mothership 5, which is a Bronze Seduction. I am almost certain I talked about this palette in my fall video from last year. Probably one of my favorite motherships. I just think it's so gorgeous. And this is one I would love to pull out and do a Do We Still Love Her video, or just 3 looks. This is the one that I remember seeing on Sephora website. Like, why is this palette $125? Like, who is he? Who is Pat McGrath? I remember saying that. So the other palette that I think I probably would have had in a video, because I made a list here, is my Chanel Candor at Seduction quad, which looks a lot like Red Tartan. I told you I probably mentioned Rusted Essence, the first one, 27. Might have mentioned Haunted Europe by Nomad Cosmetics. May have mentioned the Sunset palette from Natasha Denona, but not 100% sure. But those are my palettes for this year. And again, I picked the ones that I did because these are ones I really want to use. So you may see me doing a Do We Still Love Her video on the ones that we talked about. Now I'm gonna find my phone and we need to see what I picked last year. It's not gonna be long. I'm gonna roll through it quickly. All right, y'all, let's see. I am gonna be talking all about the fall eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I have 20 right here, and y'all know I love talking about eyeshadow palette. If you have you back. So I have you back. All right, let's get started. All right, let's see. So I hope you all are doing well. All right, girl, come on. Curious Eyes right now. Probably going to be coming up next. Look at this, you Rusted Essence, y'all. This is such a beautiful palette. This is fall in a palette for me. If you have not tried let's see. Like the green one, but this is the Toad palette, and I just love this palette. Toad. It's just really grungy, but So Toad is Tammy Tanuka. Okay, it is grungy. That's what I've been using. Tell you that. I don't think it embodies fall. Like the greens in here are not the bright summery. All right, let's see what else we got.
Why did he finish both of his medicines?
He finished it. No. The other medicine was from this morning.
There's a pink. There's still pink.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to give him his amoxicillin. Thank you for reminding me. No, that was from...
that's Mark.
No, it's not. That's a number I don't recognize. I don't answer those.
How did he get your number?
I'm not sure how they get my number, so I don't answer. May I finish?
Why did he finish it?
Put goodie in my collection.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
I've been talking about this a lot because y'all know Makeup Revolution has released the Game of Thrones collection for no reason. I just can't. And it just always makes me want to bring out my Urban Decay palette. I feel like, you know, this was when Urban Decay was still Urban Decay, I guess. But I love this palette. And the whole palette is fall to me. But we do have the Winterfell section. All right, that's cool. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Okay, let's see what else we got. But here is the My Dream palette. And I've used this a few times. I really like it because Oh, I said Sunset, didn't I? Yep. Larger palettes. That's not a snack, but okay. Only a few. Or else you're not going to be able to have dessert. And here she is. I said Sunset. I love this palette. And one of the... Girl, you don't even use it. Okay, moving on. But I tell you, They're just colors.
This bronze palette right here. Deep dive in rhodium.
So that was rhodium.
Told you.
They're like the cream.
I know myself.
Mattes. Deep dive.
Deep dive in rhodium.
Really beautiful. Deep dive is deeper than rhodium. Yeah, I love those two shades, and they're
told
so
you I knew it.
For just,
all right, let's see what else we got.
When it came out, a lot of people were really into this palette. And
it's the MAC palette, y'all. Like what was it called? Feast Your Eyes.
Because this brand, I don't know, it's kind of introducing some different formulas. Here's what it looks like up close. And
I don't know what I ended up doing. It might be in the box.
Was selling out this palette. Palette number 8 is one of my favorite palettes that I bought, I guess, last year. This is the Red Dragon.
I said Red Dragon.
Which was a collaboration between Odin's Eye and Judy as part of the legendary Diversa collection.
Look at what's next, y'all.
The C palette. And this is a different palette for me to showcase because I have decided as of today, I'm really not into cool tones. I just don't feel like
how we change. Like when I look at my look. How we change. Okay. Ooh, I wasn't thinking. And then look at Marky.
Oh, you do? Well, first of all, you need to go wipe your mouth because that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
Marky has
these
grown.
Two transitions, like I said,
Sashimi City.
Like,
okay, Kaleidos. Okay. I knew. I wasn't sure. Fall Magic. I said if I had it,
orange,
it would be on here.
You've got some unique.
Let's see what else we got.
That was the Lure palette from Unearthly
Cosmetics. Started to bring out Lure.
This is another one that I think gives off some fall vibes, but still has a different color story. You got like this mustardy, orangey yellow color with.
Okay, we got Lure.
This palette is so great. Now I did change out
Rust.
The
you already know.
I just didn't need that in my life. But Rust is just. I always talk about Erode. Erode is just such a beautiful, look at how opaque that shade is.
Okay. Yes, we can't even get into that because I already did a video. Look, y'all. I knew it.
Oh, if you take out this shade, for some reason it reminds me of chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk? Oh my God, I was about to say it reminds me of chocolate milk.
Look at Moxie. Look this.
Okay. I know that's not a Maury Mary pose. It sure is.
Let me see if I can swatch something so y'all can see what I mean.
About the good
shit. Sagrado, beautiful. Mesquite. Look at that. There's no dust. It's not. I can't. Tequila, beautiful. Michoacan. I'm probably saying it wrong. I cannot remember. Amori Berry poses, the shimmers are great and the mattes are great. It's just, I think it's a circle pan.
Yep, it's a circle pan prejudice. Okay. No, I had
Hudson Valley, and this time they gave you an explanation with all of their shade names. I didn't have to figure it out this time, and they had a little scratch and sniff here that you could live.
All right, I had Hudson Valley. Okay, I'm up here trying to be different. Oh, I have something from
that was palette number 16.
Let's see.
I'm gonna get Marky out of the shower, and then we're gonna go with 18, 19, and 20. Okay, let's talk about Sydney Grace
Mountain Trail.
I don't know why I bought this. Oh, I bought this, which was a collab with Fancy Face. Wait, I might get that for VIB. But this is the Mountain Trail.
Mountain Trail was good. That was a good choice, right?
They sold this as a bundle, and maybe it wasn't a palette. I can't remember. But, look at this. It is a really vibrant little quint here. And if you don't like a lot of sparkle and a lot of foil, a lot of shimmer, a lot of galacticness, this will be
Red Tart,
the eyeshadow formula for you because there's really, despite asking for these mattes and this colorful rainbow, that it's really not my favorite palette. So I wanted to end this video off with two palettes that I love by Mama Pat, that I have respect for.
What's the second one?
Loyalty to, and I couldn't choose one.
Not Midnight Sun.
So we've got Midnight Sun and we've got Bronze. Let me make sure. Seduction. Because I can't remember if it's Ambition, Temptation. All right, let's start with a comparison video, but I can. Oh, okay.
It says why did you write Chick-fil-A?
And we're going to top it all off 19 and 20 with Mama Pat. Not screaming fall.
Is it October 24th?
It is not. It's October 4th.
October 4th?
Yeah.
So this comes out until the 28th?
Yeah.
I thought it was October 24th.
It's not.
Oh, because we had 24 days of school.
Yes, left until the trunk or treat.
So dumb.
You're not dumb. You just...
Wait, 24 days until trunk or treat?
Yes. So here we go. Here, I mean, extreme aubergine. Such a...
All right, I think that's it, y'all. That's it. Okay, well, I tried. I tried to pick some different things, but, you know, some things stay with me and give me those vibes. So that was really fun to look at. Oh, my God. Did y'all see Marky? Marky's really had a tremendous growth spurt. August, like, you could tell he was younger, but I don't know. August be trying to be too cool for school now. All right, y'all. Well, I got palettes here that I really want to use. Obviously, these palettes I love. And when it comes to fall vibes, they're giving me the vibes more than 1 year in a row. So I love going back down memory lane, but I don't want to keep y'all any longer. Let me know if you use your makeup seasonally. I usually don't, but I do love going into my archives, into my collection, and just talking about this makeup because as I keep saying, all the makeup that we have was once lusted after, sought after, and sometimes we just end up putting it in a drawer and it doesn't get used, and it's very unfortunate. So I'm really glad to be going back into my collection. This look that I did with the I was gonna say Hunter Europe. This look that I did with the Hudson Valley palette really shocked me. I was like, okay, so that will be up this week, but I'm like, this is great. So, you know, we have a lot of great things in our collection, and I love going back and honoring the things that I have. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Don't forget to comment. Let me know some palettes that you're loving right now or palettes that you really want to pull out and use. So I would love to know both. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another Mimosas and Makeup. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.